Here we are. We all knew this day would come. The day where I do my first unboxing video. Let's unbox some videos. Welcome back to yet another episode. Yes, today is my first unboxing video. As a lot of you may know, Arrow Video was having a sale. I'm not sure if it was UK only or US only, but I ordered a bunch of PAL Region B Arrow Video releases that were pretty much almost all upgrades. They were things I had on DVD. I took some time and sold off all the DVDs, and I got all of this in this box for about 15 to 20 bucks. So this is going to be my style of unboxing video. Obviously, I'm going to unbox this. I'm going to go through each piece and talk about why I picked it up and why I'm excited to have it in the collection. I'd love to know what you guys have picked up over the last couple weeks, over the last month or two. We all know it's hard to go out to the pawn shops and thrift shops, or impossible right now, I should say, because they're closed. But a lot of boutique labels are having sales. But I'd love to know what you guys have picked up. Feel free to leave that down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump into my first unboxing. Alright, let's see. Let's see here. Here we go. Alright. With the razor blade. It was kind of pieced together, you know, the cardboard was pieced together, recycled, which I am all for. Let's see what we got in here. It is a bit small. I ordered like 15 or 17 Blu-rays, so I'm hoping that they're all in here. They may not be. We got this beautiful layer of meticulously made cardboard fluff. Very beautiful. Got my little shipping majiggy there. So here we are. Let's get all this out of the way. Actually, let's do this. Just trying to make it as visible as possible here for you guys. Fuck, let's take this off too. Jumping right in. Now, this is going to sound stupid, but this is how I do things. I had a copy of this, Cinema Paradiso, on Blu-ray, sealed, Region B, and I actually sold it for 25 bucks sealed on eBay, and got this from Arrow Video's sale for £5, which I think equates to maybe like $8 US, something like that. So I made money selling my sealed copy and rebuying it. That's how we do. That basically paid for one or two of these. So again, pretty awesome. Cinema Paradiso, one that I've been wanting to see for a long time. I did actually catch this in school, in middle school one time. This was shown. One of our teachers was from Italy, and he loved this movie, and I remember really loving some of the imagery in this film. It's really a love letter to cinema, and it's a lot like Hugo in that way. So that is Cinema Paradiso. Alright, next up, oh yeah, Dead End Drive-In. Finally got this on Blu-ray. Dead End Drive-In is a little Australian film, I believe. Post-apocalyptic Australian film directed by Brian Trenchard Smith. And this is just a fun, very 80s vibe. It's about a whole bunch of kids that get basically sent to this outdoor sort of... it's been a long time, forgive me, but it's some sort of outdoor prison, but it's made up to look like it's some sort of, like, living space for these kids. It's sort of like a detention area for these kids, but it's sort of like a prison. I don't know. It's just a really interesting film. Actually, on the back here, it says, one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite directors, Brian Trenchard Smith. He did The Man from Hong Kong, Stunt Rock, Turkey Shoot, BMX Bandits, and Dead End Drive-In. He also did Night of the Demons 2, which I can't stand. Anyway, that is Dead End Drive-In, a fun movie that I'm glad to finally own on Arrow Video Blu-ray. Beautiful. And again, the cover art. Ugh. Alright. The Gruesome Twosome. Yes, this is Herschell Gordon Lewis. Gruesome Twosome is probably his most famous flick. This and the 2000 Maniacs, I'd say. So the Gruesome Twosome I've yet to see. I've seen a few Herschell Gordon Lewis films, and I do enjoy almost all of them. They're just campy fun. He wasn't a very good director, but he pushed the gore boundaries in horror cinema. Absolutely. You know, he was inspired by Hammer, and then in the early 60s, he would start doing his own gory American stuff, which was very over the top and controversial for the time. So that is Herschell Gordon Lewis's probably his most famous film, The Gruesome Twosome. Yeah, I guess they're all in here. Oh, we got a slipcover. I know you slipcover hounds are going to be going crazy for this one. We got Cruising here. Al Pacino's Cruising. Now, I've heard great things about this movie. I've heard that this is basically Al Pacino's slasher. I believe he plays a cop tracing a serial killer. Really don't know much about this, but I've had the Archive Collection DVD in my collection for a long time. Finally got rid of that and upgraded to the beautiful Blu-ray here. The nice slipcover, which I'm always glad to get, even though I'm not too crazy about them. If this slipcover was worth $30, this slipcover is gone. So that is Al Pacino's Cruising, directed by William Friedkin. Next up, we got Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. Now, this is a Sam Peckinpah movie. I had this on Twilight Time Blu-ray, sold the Twilight Time, and got the Arrow release, which had a bunch more special features. I'm not sure if it's the same transfer or not, but the reviews were much better for the Arrow version. So I upgraded. I sold my Twilight Time for $20, $25, something like that. Got this for about $8 to $10 US. This one is fantastic. One of my favorite Peckinpah films, if not my favorite. It stars Warren Oates as a piano player who gets in over his head with this guy named Alfredo Garcia. And things get twisty and turny as it goes on. And Warren Oates, this is like Warren Oates' best performance. A lot of people know him as Dillinger in the John Milius movie Dillinger, but I know him for Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. This was a very influential film for me. I love this really weird post sort of noir western. Very cool. Check this one out. This is a weird one. I don't expect many of you to know, but I know some of you out there will know it. This is Rainer Werner Fassbinder. Let me try that again. The Rainer Werner Fassbinder Collection, Fox and His Friends, and the Chinese Roulette. Now, my Chinese Roulette DVD was worth like $30. It sold on eBay within a few days, and it was a no-brainer. This was $10 US. I picked it up for Chinese Roulette, which I hear is a great sort of home invasion thriller from the 70s, but it also comes with Fox and His Friends. So this will be a nice little introduction to Rainer Werner Fassbinder. I've not seen any of his films, but I know he is an auteur. I know he is supposed to be one of the greats. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Oh yeah, getting some horror here. We've got Colobus. Colobus I've had on DVD for, again, quite some time. Finally, I sold that DVD off for like $10 or something. I got this for $8 or $10, so it wasn't much of I didn't make money doing that, but it was more of an even trade. I got Colobus on Blu-ray. I've been holding off for the Blu-ray because I've heard pretty good things about this movie, that it's sort of a hidden gem. I don't know anything about it, however. So if you guys like Colobus, please let me know down in the comments below why, and if I should crack this bad boy open and check it out right now. That is Colobus. Who is in this? Of course, yeah, it actually doesn't say. It says The Real World Meets Saw by way of Suspiria in the super smart, super gory, and sadly super overlooked late 90s horror gem. So, Colobus. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. All right, next up, we've got Shock Treatment. Again, these are all upgrades, guys. The only film I've added to the collection was Fox and His Friends so far that I've shown. Shock Treatment, I don't want there to be any spoilers. Shock Treatment, I guess, is the spiritual successor to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Another film that I haven't seen yet, so I sold my DVD to get this because I was basically it was an even trade, or I was making money. That's why I made this transaction. I don't have much money right now. So that is Shock Treatment. Next up, sold my Blu-ray, which was out of print. This had all the same special features and a few more from what I read. And the transfer's supposed to be better. It's supposed to sound better. So this was a no-brainer. I got rid of my Synapse Blu-ray, I believe it was, to pick up the Arrow release here. And this is a much better cover art. I believe this was the original poster. It's a badass poster. Maybe it's a newly commissioned, done in a retro style. This is one of those films, those grindhouse, gritty New York films where, that were made during the 70s and 80s, early 80s, where a guy comes home from Nam or from the war and sees what's going on in his neighborhood and does something about it with a flamethrower and machine guns, and this guy is insane. But it's all for a good cause. The Exterminator. Can't go wrong with this really fun grindhouse action movie from the early 80s. Got a few left here. The Long Goodbye, a Robert Altman film. Now, this is actually a film I've yet to see. I know Schwarzenegger actually has a cameo in this, one of his first on-screen roles in a big movie. This was after Hercules in New York, I believe, but still pretty cool to see him as like a bodyguard or something in this when I do get around to seeing this. But that's not what this is about. Elliot Gould is in this. I really don't know much about this film. Is he a hitman? I don't know what his character is, but I'm looking forward to this because I've heard it's a classic. So, The Long Goodbye. We got Sleeper. Got rid of my DVD and upgraded to the Blu-ray for Sleeper. Believe it or not, this is the only Woody Allen film that I have ever seen. The only Woody Allen film that I've seen. And I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I watched it because it was a sci-fi comedy. That's why I watched it. I do need to sit down and give his films a try. I don't like him as a human being, but that, you know, I still want to give his work a try to see how it affects me. I know some of my friends, some of their favorite directors he is amongst, so I do need to check out more of his work, but this is Sleeper. Sleeper follows Woody Allen's character who wakes up like 200 years in the future and things are, you know, totally different. It's one of those Brave New World sort of stories. I don't remember much about it, but I do remember enjoying it. That is Woody Allen's Sleeper. And last but not least, the big boy. The one that I probably am most excited to finally own, because I've been wanting to own this set before it went out of print. I've owned the first 3 movies, both on DVD, the first 2 on DVD and the third on Blu-ray for a long time now. Finally glad to own this glorious collection on the Blu-ray. House, the Collection. I love these movies. I think House 1 and 2 are amongst some of the most fun 80s flicks that you could even watch. They're over the top, they're kooky, they're zany, they're ridiculous, they're absurd. They don't make much sense at points, but it doesn't even matter because the cast is having a blast of a time and the practical effects are crazy. The lighting, these are just fun movies. And I recognize House, the first one, is a better film, but House 2, the second story, is so absurd. It's just a ride. It reminds me of the Waxworks movies, directed by Anthony Hickox. They're just from one set piece to the next, and things get increasingly more bizarre. Weird-ass characters. I love it. Now, the third one, House 3, The Horror Show, really has nothing to do with the house, or a house, really. It's one of those stories where Brian James' character gets killed, electrocuted. I believe he gets put to death via electric chair, and then his spirit comes back to haunt Lance Henriksen's character. It's one of those sort of stories. I don't remember much about it. It's been over a decade since I've seen that. But I am excited to finally watch House 4, The Repossession. That's right, this series has 4 films in it. And I am the grateful owner of all 4 of them now here in this beautiful Arrow package. So, alright, so I don't even know if you could see these here, but this was the entire pickup here. Again, guys, this was all upgrade, except for House 4 and Freddy and the Fox, or Fox and his Friends, or whatever that movie is, the Fassbender film. Those 2 films were the only films I've added to the collection. Everything else was a Blu-ray upgrade. But man, am I happy to have all these in the collection and sit down and crack into these finally. A lot of these I've had sealed on DVD, and I was waiting for the opportunity to upgrade to Blu-ray, so I saw the window, I took the opportunity, and here I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing and sort of talk about video, sort of discussion video with these films. I'd love to know what you guys have picked up over the last couple months or whatever, couple weeks. Feel free to leave that down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel and want to see more videos like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the little bell for notifications. Anyway guys, I will see you next time. Bored Cyborg, out.